No pressure signs so far. 2609 already. Gee. 2609 feet per second. That's a lot faster than what I was thinking. $26.56. Oh, that bolt was a little bit hard to lift. The primer looks alright. Both primers look alright. That was 26.56. So that's flipping fast, man.
That was shot number 2.
That is a lot quicker than what it should be doing. It's 26.35. Hi guys, it's time for an update on the 308 with the 16-inch barrel. Just quickly want to go through the load testing, the ladder test that I've just recently done. So I started off at 46.8 grains, shot that round, was quite surprised that load shot first at 26.09. Then we went to go shoot 26.53 and then shot 26.35. At 26.53 I had a very slight sticky bolt, and to be fair, as I went through the shots, whenever it hovered around that 26.50 mark, the bolt was slightly sticky. So I think it was teetering on pressure, over pressure of that round. So yeah, that had me quite surprised. 26.09 at 46.8. I was thinking I'd get like 2,500, low 2,500 or less. And then I did 47, which was 0.2 grains up. That didn't change the velocity at all. And then I went to 47.2. That didn't change at all either. I had 26.04, 26.29 and 26.19. I kept going all the way up to 47.8. The speeds didn't change, but what did happen is the standard deviations changed, and also the groups going higher, they tightened up, or the groups grew. So I was a little bit disappointed in that. I actually came home and was scratching my head thinking, well, I wonder how low I can go before it goes below 2,600. So I loaded another 6 groups, started off at 45 grains, and I went all the way up to 46.5, so 3 grains less than the first start load of the first ladder test. And the groups were all over the place, the velocities were all over the place as well. And even when I shot 46.5, the groups didn't go over 25.60. So I came home and I had to think about it, and I picked up all the paper of the groups that I did from the first ladder test. I didn't really have a real good look at them. I sort of just glanced at them and I thought to myself, nah, these are crap, you know, and sort of just trailer parked them up, folded them all up and put them in my car as I was going. But anyway, I came home and I had a quick look, and to be honest, I'm actually pretty happy of that first ladder test. And I think there's some really good work to sort of work off these foundations that I got. So out of the 5 groups that I shot, so I didn't go above 47.8. I shot 47.8, but I didn't go above it. Out of those 5, there were 3 that either the standard deviation was quite good, quite a tight speed, or the group in itself was quite tight. So I'll just go through them now. I'll start off at 46.8. This was the first shot. So there's a group there of 1.296, and the speeds there were 2609, 2653, and 2635. That 2653 was the slightly tight bolt. And I actually think that was the third shot, which could have something to do with it, slightly high pressure. And then I had 47.2. So this group actually shot 1.096. So that's not too bad. That's some foundations to work off to tighten up. 47.2. My speeds for that were 2604, 2629, and 2619. So that was quite promising. And then the third one that I've chosen to do some work on was 47.8, and this shot a group of 1.027. And the velocities for this, they were actually quite tight. I think they were the tightest of the lot. I had 2609, 2609, 2629. So that's quite promising. So what I did was I went through and I've loaded these rounds again. So here they are there. So as you can see, we've got 46.8, 47.2, and 47.8. And that has a overall length of 2810 inches. And there's the round there. So what I did this time is I paid real care and attention to how I've loaded these, because I really want to get my standard deviations really tight. And I'll really want to take my time shooting these and try and get the accuracy really good if I can. One thing I did do is I changed my case lube. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens from here. So basically, I was using this Lee grease. Now what I don't like about the Lee grease is that when you're loading this ball powder, or at least when you are lubing your cases, I lube the inside of the neck as well. I take a Q-tip, I take a very light amount of this Lee grease, and I lubricate the inside of the cases, so that when you are resizing your cartridge or your case, the ball plunger that, or the resizing ball that goes in and out of the neck can stick and gall. So you are supposed to lube the inside. But what I found was happening is I'll go back through after resizing and I'll get a Q-tip and I'll wipe those necks out the best that I could. But still what was happening was the CFE 223 was sticking to the inside of the neck, and it was making a real mess when I was reloading. It was real frustrating, and I don't think when you're frustrated reloading, I don't think that builds good consistent reloads. So what I did is I had this here. This is like an alcohol based lube. It's got like a wax, I think it might be a wax or something in it. You can see it there, it sort of goes to the bottom. You've got to give it a good shake when you're going to use it. Smells like alcohol, and it leaves a waxy film on the case. So what I did is I sprayed my cases down with this, I rolled them around on a paper towel, and it put a waxy film on it. And then I sprayed a Q-tip with this stuff, and I lubed the inside of the neck slightly. And then what I did is I resized the case, and then I went back through, cleaned out the neck, and then I put the powder in, and I had no more issues of that ball powder sticking to the neck of the case. The other thing I'm thinking about doing is crimping the neck of these cases. Just putting a light crimp on it. What my thinking there is, just trying to build a bit more consistency when it comes to neck tension, but also I'm thinking I might get away with using slightly less powder but still maintaining the same amount of pressure, so keeping that pressure inside the case a bit more. I'm going to try these first, see what that comes out like, but once I find the right load, I wouldn't mind playing around with neck tensions and, like I said, putting a light crimp on it, but we'll see what happens there. Now, in regards to validating these rounds, once I get my round sorted and pick it out, I'll be using the Fordhoff, or the Hornady Fordhoff validating system. You can go on the Hornady website and there's a bit of a video there, and that shows you how to validate your rounds shooting at ranges, and it gives you a more accurate speed. There's a YouTube channel and it's called Simple Minded Fella. Now, I was going to test these amaxes in a gel block, but this Simple Minded Fella, he's already done that, and he hasn't just done it, he's done it really well. Like, he's done it at high speeds and at reduced speeds, and he's chronographed a whole lot, shot them, and yeah, he's done some really good work in that. So I'd recommend looking at that video. I know the amax are target rounds, but looking at that gel testing, man, I'll tell you what, even he says he uses them himself, he uses them at extended range. He reckons they're really good. Bit of an update on the rifle. So as you see there, I did have the Zerotech, I think it was a 3x12, and it had ballistic, or the adjustable turrets on top. It was a real heavy scope. To be honest, it was a bit of a pig of a scope. Optics on it weren't good, and it was really heavy. And I said right from the get-go that I was going to look at getting a VX3 HD or a VX3i. So this scope came available on Trade Me. I ended up buying it. It cost me $750. Really good. Pros, I really like this CDS turret. So I really like the zero stop on it. The clicks are really nice. So you got to push that down so that you can turn it, but also when you're going back to zero, that little turret pops out. Cons with this turret is it's only got about 13 MOA until it's bottomed out. So you see there, 13 MOA, where does that get me? It gets me at about 480 meters. So I was hoping to get a bit more out of it, but 480 meters, if I'm shooting 500, I can aim a bit higher and I'll get that. Good thing about this scope is I can get the custom dial for here, which I'll do later on in the process once I've validated my load. Some cons on the scope, or a con on the scope, is obviously the elevation. The turret only does one turn, but the other thing is this little ring here. There's a little ring, and this bloody thing, I mean, I can't turn it now, but somehow this bloody ring keeps undoing itself, which is annoying. It doesn't affect the adjustment on your scope. What can happen is this eye relief here can wind itself back or forwards, but I haven't had the eye relief move yet. I've just had that ring turn, which is a bit annoying. So that's the scope on it, which I just recently got. Thoughts on the Tikka? It's good gun from what I can see. Accuracy is not too bad yet. Like it's pretty good. I actually shot when I did these groups, I wasn't too sure on the accuracy of the rifle. I thought, oh, maybe me chopping off that barrel is not very good. Maybe it's affected the accuracy. So I shot some Federal 150 grain. Oh, they're in the blue packet. I can't remember. I'll put a caption up and tell you. Power Shocks. They're the blue packet Power Shocks. Ugly looking projectile. They look like the head of the projectile has been smacked with a hammer. But I put 3 rounds through that and I shot those. And here's the video for that. That's not bad. That is 150. 25.44. Last one. 25.74. So the accuracy of that was pretty good. I knew it wasn't the rifle. I just knew it was probably just my hand loading, and because I was teetering on the edge of max. So that's my thoughts on that. The stock's a bit short. Could probably do with another inch. It's all right when you're standing. It's pretty good. You know, standing shots, they're all right. But if you're lying down taking a shot, you do find your head's a lot further forward than if you're lying down. Future plans for the gun is, I'm not 100% sure yet, but let me know in your comments your thoughts, or if you've done this. But it's putting a half lock in the bolt, so you can chamber around, put it on half bolt and put the safety on. That's a mod you can do to these Tikkas. It's about 150 bucks. It's good if you're stalking in tight bush and stuff like that. And the other thing I might do is altering the trigger so it's a bit lighter to pull. So yeah, I've taken this out in a few hunts. I like it, to be honest. It's pretty good. Easy to carry around. Basically, just throw a rifle sling on it. I don't carry it around with the bipod. I just use my pouch if I've got to shoot off that at longer ranges. I did almost shoot a deer with it at Christmas time. I was stalking with it and came around a corner, and there was a stag standing at probably about 15 meters away from me, just looking at me, which leads me to another not so good thing about these Tikkas is when he was looking at me, I was looking at him. I was all camoed up and the deer couldn't really tell what I was until I tried to chamber around, and I chambered the round nice and quietly, but the bolt, it has got a real noisy click. I'll try and do that for you now. So let's move this out of the way. So if you listen to this, you're going through the bush and your chamber's empty. It's that click there, and it's real hard to, you can't soften it. Like, this is me going real slow and it clicks internal. So it was that click that scared that deer off. I don't think there's anything you can do with that. So that's why I'm sort of liking the half bolt idea, to sort of eliminate that noise. So my next video I'm going to do is going to be on these 3 groups that I'm going to shoot with these rounds. Following that, I'll pick one of these and then I'll do the validating on that video. And once I've done some validating, it'll be time to go for a hunt and try these rounds out. So let us know in the comments what your thoughts are. If there's anything else you'd like to know on this gun, like, I don't know, the suppressor or whatever, put it in the comments and I'll be happy to do some more videos. Sorry it's taken so long. It's been a bit of a process, to be fair. We had Christmas interrupt plus COVID, and Oh, there was a bunch of things going on, but that's where I'm up to at the moment. I know it's not finished yet, but I don't think we're far off. I'll try and get out this weekend and shoot these rounds, and I'll post it up. But yeah, stay tuned, like and subscribe, and we'll see what comes next. Cheers.